A big welcome to our Sports Chat segment of the Morning Express program. I bet you had a very good beginning of the year. Remember, KTN has always been in the forefront of bringing to you all the sporting action on the pitch and off it also. And today we start, first of all, with news from the English leagues, where Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho will recall Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba and Herrera and Antonio Valencia in Tuesday's English League Cup semi-final first leg clash with Hull City at Old Trafford. The quartet sat out Saturday's FA Cup 4-0 win over second-tier Reading, but Mourinho will recall his key players for the match. He has reiterated his desire to reach the League Cup showpiece, a trophy he first won with Chelsea in 2000. The trophy was the first trophy Mourinho won in England. To tennis news now, where Novak Djokovic withstood a comeback from Sir Andy Murray to defend his Qatar Open title and end the Britain's winning streak of 28 consecutive ATP matches. Murray remains world number one despite the 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 defeat by Serbian world number two. The Scot saved 3 match points to come from a set and a breakdown to win the second set. Both players now head to Melbourne for the Australian Open, the first year's first Grand Slam, which starts on Monday next week. Back to local news now, where President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday visited ailing legendary footballer Joe Kadenge at his Mariakani Gardens house in South B Estate, Nairobi. The visit by the president added a smile on Kadenge's family as he not only donated 2 million shillings to offset the legend's medical bill, but also granted him and his wife full insurance cover, among other goodies. The 82-year-old Kadenge, who has been in and out of hospital, is battling with diabetes. On October 12th last year, while watching a Super League match at Camp Toyoyo in Nairobi, Kadenge collapsed and doctors at Metropolitan Hospital battled to save his life. And on Boxing Day, the former player of Maragoli and Abaluya Football Club, the precursor to AFC Leopards, was taken ill again, triggering concerted efforts to find a sustainable solution to cushion Kenya's sporting heroes in their sunset years. In the studio to help us discuss the way forward is former Harambee Stars and Kenya Brewers midfielder Sammy Sholei and the respected BBC journalist Joe Kadenge, and also Joe Kadenge's biographer John Nene. Guys, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
At my extreme left is Sammy Sholei, the former Harambee Stars midfielder, as well as Kenya Breweries. And remember, he's also served as the Vice President of Football Kenya Federation until the last year's elections early in February. Karibu sana to studio, Sammy Sholei. And to my immediate left is John Nene, a veteran journalist. He's worked with the BBC for quite some time now, and he's covered extensively most sporting stories in this country. And I'm not very sure, the fact that you are his biographer, did you have even the benefit to watch him play? I don't know.
Yeah, I watched him maybe for about a year, because that was when now he was almost over the peak. That was in the late 60s as a small boy at Mariakani Estate, because I've stayed with Joe for a long time in Mariakani Estate. So at least I know how he plays and why he has captured the imagination of the country.
We'll come back to the book that you wrote, his biography, the Joe Kadenge, the life of a football legend. But Sammy Sholei, yesterday was a big day at Mariakani, South B. What was happening? The president made his way.
Yesterday was a very big day for Joe Kadenge's life and family. It was a big day to all of us.
Both of you were there, I guess.
Yeah, we were there, yeah. It was a big day for football family in this country. The committee that put together everything to make sure that Joe Kadenge, his Mzee now, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta visits the other Mzee. Yeah, it was a huge day, a big day, big day. It was a big day.
How did it go on? The president arrived there very late in the evening?
Oh, that was a big, big day, because we were there from as early as 12 noon, and the residents were so excited. I was too excited, going back to my estate where I grew up. So we were all anxiously waiting for the president, discussing how the visit will be And when he arrived, the mood was ecstatic. People were excited seeing the president, and he was in his usual mood, chatting with the residents there. Okay,
it is his nature.
Finally, visiting Kadenge, and they had a long chat. And for your information, Kadenge will soon be moving to his own house. Yeah,
I'm told those are part of the goodies.
Yes, those are the goodies, and it's one thing Kadenge has really been talking about wherever. When I was doing his book, he'll tell me, how long am I going to stay in Mariakani? These people they recognize what I have done. From 1963, I've been here. So yesterday he said, oh no, I can't just believe it. The president coming to see me.
And you know, he's very eloquent, Joe Kadenge.
Yes.
He really comes across as a very sharp guy.
Yeah, he's a very sharp guy, very jovial, comic. You know, you cannot sit with Kadenge and you pay to laugh because you don't know what he's going to tell you next.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a very exciting mzee.
The fact that I'm told there were even blackouts, but then the president, you know, braved all those.
But it was very simple. You know, so many people see the president from far, you know, through the television. I had an opportunity to be just next to him. And, you know, when the power kept on going off, you know, there was no tension. There was, you know, we kept on talking.
The president didn't panic.
He didn't panic, you know. And, you know, at some point he was joking because Nyambane was there. And for your information, I think Nyambane also represented the county government very, very well, extremely well, because the questions that were being shot towards the spokesman for the county, I don't think I would have actually been in a position to, you know, defend the county. And, you know, they kept joking with the president that, you know, this power, actually, Nyambane is telling the president that, unaona hii government yako inazima stima. So the president is also telling him, pana, hii county ndio wanafanya. It was a very jovial moment.
The mzee Joe Kadenge found a reason to smile.
Oh, yes. The president. In fact, we would not know that he has been ailing. I had a lengthy chat with him, and I'll also be talking to him today. He could not just believe it, okay, that the president has visited him and his wishes have been fulfilled.
I'm told he was promised 2 million shillings, insurance cover.
Actually, the 2 million shillings was handed to Mzee's family in cash, which we're expecting to bank into his account so that in terms of accountability, that money reflects in Mzee's account. So if tomorrow somebody decides to withdraw 1 million or 2 million shillings, there is a record that there's 2 million that was donated by the state, by the president, and it appears in the statement. And whatever they want to do with the money, you know, it will be now.
But there's also a WhatsApp group that you guys came up with, and you raised more than 500,000
I think we raised through WhatsApp, which most of the money was coming through my cell phone number, and I want to thank Kenyans for entrusting specifically my phone, my number, because it was a personal. It was very difficult to get a pay bill number until when we rushed to HFC Bank, where they came up. We opened an account. On phone, we through phone and all the collection that we got from other places, we collected, I think 814. It is 814 on phone and 814 Harambe, 813 on phone.
Wow.
So it was 13 and 14.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was good. In terms of accountability, like he mentions, really, a lot has been happening. How have you managed to do that? You say you transferred the money directly to Mzee's account, or what is happening?
Yeah,
the new account, the one Shole is also a signatory, together with the firstborn son, Evans Kadenge, and the wife, Maria. So the money has been transferred to that account. Yeah, but let me just say one thing. Toskin, you mentioned this fundraising through the WhatsApp group. What I've realized is that Kenyans are willing to assist these sports heroes.
Worthy causes, for that matter.
Yes, they are really, because the way people contributed. But what has been lacking is that leadership, somebody to come up and say, I'm doing this for our former sportsmen and women.
Sure.
So once Shole did that, I'm telling you the response was amazing.
How did it just come that to pass that you are the one to to take over and decide to rally people around them?
You know, Toskin, what happened? And I was driving from my home in Kitale on 27th because we spent our Christmas with our family there. And as soon as I was driving out of Eldoret, I received a text from one of the media guys, Maingi. I really want to thank him for making this happen. And the text was actually pointing at people, at all sports officials and sports fraternity family across the country. And I decided to park the vehicle on the side of the road, and I called Maingi and asked him, okay, now, if you send such like a text,
it's alarming.
It's a bit alarming because you're accusing everyone for not going to see Mzee. I can go to the hospital to see Mzee, but I've not even carried a bottle of Fanta. You know, just to be seen with Mzee is not enough. So what I did, I told him, if I were you, I would have actually created a WhatsApp group and asked people to start contributing, and that's basically what I did. I thanked my wife. She decided, she agreed. She doesn't like driving long distances. She agreed to drive the family to Nakuru while I am seated on the co-driver's seat. And I started creating the WhatsApp group. By the time I was reaching Nakuru, I had 15,000 shillings. And I thought, oh, this is going to happen.
Wow.
So I was going through my phone. I didn't care who you were, if you were in football or not. I pushed you to the WhatsApp group.
But the question would be now, John, that we have so many sporting heroes. I don't know how many are they. Maybe it will require us maybe to identify them and vet. But would it always take the president driving to an estate where a sporting hero is, so as action should be taken?
Yeah, that's a good one. Now that is where now we're heading to, because I've received so many calls and texts from the sportsmen and women who know me, asking me now, why is it always Kadenge? The athletes, for instance, some of them who have won medals at the Olympics, asking me, why Kadenge? What has he done? But then we all know the fame that Kadenge has brought to Kenyan football. I'm sure even you as a kid, you don't know any other footballer more than
Kadenge.
Joe Kadenge.
Kadenge na mpira.
Yes. So it's that fame that has brought him all this. But now comes the next question. What about the other sportsmen? How will they be rewarded? Because now if...
You'll form other WhatsApp groups maybe and
No.
raise money.
In fact, that's what we were saying with Cholet here.
That what Cholet will do, to create many WhatsApp groups to reward this?
No, we'll not do that. But already the ministry has a plan. The culture ministry, the PS, Joe Kudos there. I was with the minister, Hassan Wario. He says there's 300 million set aside for our former sports heroes. So there's something that the secretariat is now being set, following what has happened now. Kadenge at 82, it had to take the president to visit him just because he has been complaining and he made his wishes in the media. That's when now the president, and thanks to the social media too.
Yes.
Otherwise now people are asking at 82.
At 82, because I presume if he retired, if he played late, say he retired at 40. Now 42 years on, nothing has happened
it's
until...
people didn't know that you have...
Because, Cholet, for how long will this continue? Or you think now with what has happened to Joe Kadenge, we have a way forward?
Yes. Tusky, I'll tell you this. We've always had a way forward, like you put it. But, you know, in life, there has to be somebody, that one person that starts something. You know, the culture that we have as Africans and more so Kenyans, you know, we usually and always wait for the government to do stuff for us.
Yes.
You know, there are a lot of priorities that the government have.
Tunaomba serikali.
Serikali saidia. You know, It's just like in your house. You also have priorities. But, you know, there's no priority number one and number two. If your kid goes to school and he or she doesn't tell you that, mzee, pencil yangu inaenda kuisha, my pencil is about to get finished or worn out.
You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You get. Because now the priority that comes before you ask me, then I'll actually divert the funds to that priority. So this is basically what is happening.
Are you trying, what is he trying to say, that the sports stakeholders have done nothing really
Exactly.
to put
That's
the
what I'm
government
saying.
to the sport?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing has been done from the, you know, let us not just blame the government. From the, at the club level, what have they done for their players? Let's take an example of Gor Mahia, being the first club in East Africa to win the Cup Winners' Cup.
The Nelson Mandela Cup.
Nelson Mandela. In '87, I was there. I covered the match. One of my good friends, Austin Oduor, whom I went to school with at Nairobi South Primary, later on he tells me, look, because I was telling him, hey,
they have nothing to show for
it. Yeah, he told him, Austin, now you've made it. But there's nothing. After that, he went back home to Zimmerman. They were promised a lot, but nothing has been done. Yeah,
because I'm told he walked all the way with the Africa Cup, Winners' Cup from Kasarani to Zimmerman. To Zimmerman. Really, he's putting now the clubs on the spot and individual maybe organizations. Even AFC Leopards itself, that Joe Kadenge played for, its precursor, the Abaluya FC and Maragoli United all those years. The clubs need to do something before the government comes in.
In fact, let me just interrupt on that one. I was heading now to from clubs. We have been discussing this with Cholet here. What about the Kenyans themselves? The companies, what have they done? Of course, the government has ignored the players, okay? But they say they facilitate their participation. Okay? But then let us ask ourselves as Kenyans. And that's when he came up with that group. We knew that Kenyans are willing to contribute. Okay? In this case, it means if today we open another group, let's say Sports Heroes, and we start a fund, and then we target, for instance, 5 million Kenyans contributing 100 shillings each. That is $500 million. Okay?
But how do you start that? Yet there's another framework. In 2014, the Parliament passed the Kenya Heroes Act 2014, and nothing has happened. How can you then come up and try to start something else outside that framework?
Something, Toskin, 300 million shillings is just peanuts. It's peanuts in terms of giving back to the heroes and making sure that the players that are playing today are also covered. It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's a drop in the ocean. So there's a lot that needs to be done. A lot of corporate companies are out there and willing to come on board to and to help football grow, and also to take care of the legends and whoever is going to retire. I will tell you this, the reason why the corporate companies are not in sports, it's because of one thing. It's because what are the clubs doing about themselves?
And transparency also.
Yeah, transparency as well. We have, let's go to football because that is the area that I'm so conversant with. All the Premier League clubs and all the clubs that are playing under Premier League are purported to be professional clubs. But, you know, in a professional outfit, I think there has to be education, number one. There has to be some business that the club is doing out there to generate money. There has to be, you know, mentoring and all that. But our professionalism,
leaders actually that understand what needs to be done.
Leaders so you see now, if you're doing these things and you're running your club professionally meaning that you account for every cent that comes in. The club is also doing business out there to generate money. You can be able to come up with a proposal and go to any corporate company and ask for sponsorship. But if you just sit back and think that you're a professional club, and then you're waiting for Mumia Sugar and Safaricom and Airtel to come on board and sponsor the club, and you have nothing to show off, I don't think it's...
Maybe this is a question for you, the Nene, as a journalist, that the 2014 Kenya Heroes Act actually creates the National Heroes Council. As a journalist, are you even aware of the existence of something like Kenya National Heroes Council?
It's there, but now we don't know the composition. What does it do? Because we have not even been consulted. You spoke about professionalism in sports. This is where we are going wrong, because we can have such an act or the commission, but the composition, the people who are there.
Yes.
We have been there in sports. You've been complaining about having ministers with no background in sports. So if they start such a project, we are willing to assist them. And also identify who are the people supposed to be rewarded. Because for that one, we are heading to that now. After Kadenge's reward, we are coming to that. The Heroes Act, it has to be implemented.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
But the question is, how do you reward these players? Okay?
Because that act gives those provisions, and one would expect that with the National Heroes Council, the public should be aware as to who sits in that council and what is their mandate and all that. And maybe going forward, Sholei, that National Heroes Council, if you'll need to identify who is a hero, who is not a hero, because I don't know, you played for Harambee Stars, you played for Kenya Breweries. I don't know if Sholei, you pass as a hero.
Exactly, and that is what I was telling my colleagues. People have to sit down. This thing, you have just to drop it to the public for them to debate on, and then we come up with a proposal. Because I played for Kenya Breweries, yes. Very few people know me.
So are you a hero?
So,
are you a hero?
I cannot be a hero, because I don't think I have that fame that Mzee Kadenge walks around with.
So who is a hero?
So who is a hero? Yes. Someone will ask that question.
And that's what I'm saying. We have now to push it to the public. Let people have a seminar, and then decide and have a cut line of how do one qualify to be a hero.
Now, let me...
because
in
that act, they say that Part 4 says that there is that section of identification and declaration of heroes, where there will be a call for nominations and selection. And there will be public consultation and all that. The question
we can do a public debate.
No, we
can do an online debate, like when there's you're looking for the best musician in this country. I see a lot of people, going to the website and voting.
Yes,
we can push it to the public so that it is not, because if it is Toskin that is running that organization, and tomorrow Joe Kadenge is voted.
Now, guys, I think, let me just answer you on this one.
Yes.
That one, even if you ask me today, how the criteria to be used to reward our sports heroes, that one is very easy. For me now, I will start with the Olympic Games, for instance. Because Olympic Games, top...
The pinnacle of any sport.
Kenya has not been at the World Cup. So we look at the Olympic Games. Who was Kenya's first Olympic medalist? Wilson Kiprugut Chuma, 1964 in Tokyo. Okay, if we are rewarding now, we have to start with the medalists at the Olympic Games. It's very easy. Okay, the ones who went there, because even participating at the Olympics is also an achievement.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll start from there. And then now we look at the gold medalists. How will they be rewarded? How much will they get? So that's why Sholei says that 300 million is peanuts. Athletics, boxing. There's Philip Orwinge, Kenya's first Olympic medalist
in boxing.
We start there. In football, that is where there's a problem. Sholei, you're a footballer. Football is teamwork. So even right now as we talk, the people who played alongside Kadenge, they'll ask, but Kadenge was not alone.
And Kadenge keeps on saying the same.
He accepts. He is a team player. And he knows during his days, there was the late Peter Oronge. They are combining very well. Most of the balls were coming from Oronge.
For him to score.
For him to score. Okay? But Kadenge will say he's like Pele. He's our Pele.
He's our Pele.
He's our Pele. Okay? There's volleyball. how do we reward
even
volleyball?
hockey, because we were at the Olympics in 1972, but then
they just
everything has gone silent.
Yeah,
maybe
gone silent.
if they had been rewarded, maybe we would be.
No, incentives have been lacking in Kenya sports. That's what has been lacking, and I must commend the minister, commander, Elias Machinani. Machinani, at least he came up with this reward scheme of 1 million for gold medalists, 500,000 for silver. Okay, to me that is peanuts.
But it was at least a good start.
It's something. It's something from the government. But they need now to consider something major. Okay, maybe 10 million for the gold medalists or 15 million for the gold medalists. Okay, that is how we should look at it.
Now, Sholei, if the government will operationalize the National Heroes Council, how organized are the sports people right across from football all the way to, say, volleyball and to the, so that you can take advantage of this and get your own people in there to serve the nation and help in identifying these heroes?
Toskin, what I would say is former players and current players and sports administrators across the country must come together to start with. It doesn't matter whether it is a young person that is going to be the head of that secretariat or an old person. Because our sports is ailing in this country because of some petty politics. There's too much politics. We were at Harambee on Friday, and I was very, very embarrassed. One of the very, very, respected captains of this country called in, and he was saying that hiyo mchango ni ya watu fulani, ya kikundi fulani, in fact tribal, ya kikundi fulani. So sisi pia tukiwa na shida, we will go and do our own. Honestly, it is so embarrassing. And these same people, we look upon them to see the future. But, they are not delivering to us.
How organized are they, the sports people?
Toskin, you have been in sports. You're a sports journalist. You know how sports is managed in Kenya. We have a few of them who are organized. They are professional in what they do. But what's lacking mostly in sports in Kenya, there's no professionalism. The people who come to run sports really don't have that passion for sports, okay? And they've not been gone to any college to learn sports management. There is sports medicine, which they don't know anything about. So that is. But
they occupy those crucial positions.
The positions. Most of them, they want to eat, okay? But that's why I always keep saying.
But it's not their mistake anyway. The appointing authorities would be the ones to be blamed for that.
Not the point. Of course, even they are voted in. And also, not many people are willing to come to run sports in Kenya. It's not easy, by the way. You just talk to some of these officials who run the associations. Some of them must dip into their pockets to pay the players.
We should not be happening.
That's what's happening in Kenya.
Now, Sholei, maybe the way forward, seriously, because after the president's visit to Kadenge at Mariakani, he has promised him what he has promised. But then, seriously, we need to roll up our sleeves and work and ensure that the youths are recognized.
It's long overdue, because this thing should have started a long time ago. But somebody to initiate it has been the problem. But we are happy that we met the minister, the CS yesterday. And
Joe Kudo,
the PS as well.
Hassan Wario has come under a lot of criticism for the way he handles sports issues at the ministry. But do you think now he has the will? From your conversation, does he have the will to take this forward?
He has, because some questions were directed towards him by the president himself, and he mentioned the 300 million. So that I am very sure is going to jumpstart the process, and we are expecting that Wario is going to come up with a secretariat, a group of, I would suggest, football administrators, people that have been there and suffered in football. To run the course, and of course not forgetting that it's supposed to be an all-inclusive process and recruitment as well. so that we can, I think something is going to happen. So as soon as people go into that secretariat, then there's a lot that will be done. Kenyans are willing out there to contribute. We cannot rely on 300 million. I am very sure, and if I use the tactics that I had suggested to my former president, Mr. Nyamoya, that we ask Kenyans, I think we are about 47 million or 45 million Kenyans, to contribute only 10 shillings.
10 shillings.
Only 10 shillings.
You
can collect on WhatsApp or whatever, or PayBill or something.
Go down.
We will have 47 million Kenya shillings every day.
Now, finally, John Nene, you've written Joe Kadenge, the life of a football legend. How is the book doing?
The book has not done badly, but what we realize that Kenyans are poor readers. They don't really read. Yeah, they are lazy. Some of them just want free things. They want that book for free. And even if you give it for free,
I've read the book and I can tell you for sure it's a gem. You'll get to understand the life and times of Joe Kadenge, what guys go through, you know.
Exactly, yeah. And it's not only Joe, because as I said earlier on, I was writing that book looking at Joe as the main character, but he had his other co-characters. The late James Yanga, John Nyawanga was there. The late Arudhi, the footballer who was a footballer by the day and at night he's a thug. So there are so many interesting things in that book. But
have you featured, I think you mentioned Alan Thigo.
Alan Thigo is also featuring there.
Yes, an outstanding
footballer. 18-year-old from Onjiko, secondary in Kisumu, when he joined Gor Mahia, and when he was a player coach, leading Gor Mahia to an unbeaten run, winning the league. So all Thigo is also inside there.
Are we looking forward to maybe a biography on Sami Shwalai?
Of course.
Reaching the finals.
He's just said it. He's just said it. He's just called us Kenyans very lazy. We are very lazy people. So what I would do, I would actually take advantage of my production house, because I have a production house, to bring my biography on Vision.
Yes.
Like a small. So for him, I think if he talks to me nicely, then we can also talk to the government so that they give us a small amount so that we can come up out of the book. We come up with a 15 minutes or 20 minutes documentary, a movie, a football movie for Joe Kadenge, 15 minutes. So you know, it might be so expensive because now we'll need the 1960s attires and all that, and then so we do it black and white.
Like he mentioned that he had difficulties writing the book because of the resources.
No records. That's another area, Toskin, that we are doing badly. And as the Minister Wario said, if we have a national sports archive, we need to have records. To do research in Kenya here is not easy. No, the officials know nothing about what happened in 1960, what happened in 1950. They don't know their players. They don't know where their former players are. There's nothing.
Thank you. Thank you for that work that you've done. And I'm very sure that the future generations will really benefit from that biography, Joe Kadenge, the life of a football legend. I've been talking to John Nene, respected BBC journalist, who has also written a biography on Joe Kadenge. And also we've had Sami Shwalai, former Harambee Stars midfielder, as well as Kenya Breweries. He featured in that team that eliminated Algeria in 1994 during the 1998 World Cup qualifiers. So I don't know if in that way he qualifies to be a legend, but then and a hero. But the National Heroes Council will be able to determine that. Akisa, I think you've...
She's also a hero.
She's also a hero.
Am I? A biography for me?
A heroine.
But Doskin, you talk about heroes and the council and how to identify them, but do Kenyans really appreciate these people like they should be, or we're just talking about the government holding, giving them the much wanted respect, but do Kenyans and their fans really understand?
I think the plight of Joe Kadenge should now be a wake-up call for all Kenyans, because we've always hero worshipped the people who steal, public resources, and then the politicians who spew, divisive rhetoric. Yet we have people like Joe Kadenge, Sami Sholehi, and so many other guys. So we hope that this is just but a start.
Wow, nice. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for that and for coming into studio. And of course, that marks the end of our program this morning, KTN Morning Express. Thank you very much for staying with us.